Welcome to the outdoor gardens at the Leaf, Canada's diversity gardens in beautiful Assiniboine Park in the heart of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Hi everyone, I'm Joy Lowen. I'm standing in front of one of the most innovative public gardens in North America, and I can't wait to explore it with you.
Something in the air, always something in the air.
We're gonna tease your senses,
Inexplicable, I can feel it in the air.
tempt your taste buds,
You did a great job.
celebrate cultural and natural diversity, and discover what the future has in store here at the Leaf, Canada's diversity gardens. Assiniboine Park sits on 400 acres on the banks of the Assiniboine River. Winnipeggers have flocked here to escape city life and connect with nature for over 100 years. But long before that, this was part of the territory of the Indigenous people of the Assiniboine, which is where Assiniboine Park gets its name. Today, these new gardens grow on some of Manitoba's most beautiful land.
The Great Spirit gave us the gift of life. How we use it's up to us. When you go to the land, you feel better. When you stand in the wind, it blows away your sickness, your anger. When you go in the water, it washes away all those toxic feelings. So it reminds you that you're still part of the elements. The pipe ceremony represents life. It represents opening doorways to better understandings of oneself, to rectify past or mistakes. So it reminds us that we're connected to all the elements. When in the wind, Aki the earth, Ishkute, Kisis the fire, and water. Nepe. We have many things that create that new life, and fire does that. When you have a fire and you have tobacco offered to it, what it does is burns away all your sickness. When you take tobacco with your left hand, touch your heart, and then you offer it to the fire. You have the trees around, you have a space that you know is contained for fire. And people, when they're around a fire, they naturally talk. They feel warmer, they don't feel so cold, they don't feel so dark. It's gonna be a warming place, it's gonna warm our hearts, it's gonna thaw out that racism. And that's a safe gathering space. And that's what we need, more safe gathering spaces. Pipe ceremony was to remind us that we only have so much time here and life shouldn't be taken for granted. And we should overcome our challenges with love and kindness and compassion. So it felt really good as an Indigenous person to honor the land, to honor the elements, honor the plant life, honor the water. Today was about hope, rejuvenation, and that people can see that there's a gift here, that the Indigenous population are a beautiful people.
We're located in Winnipeg, and when you think about Winnipeg, I mean, you think of all the different people that live in Winnipeg, you know, from the First Nation people to, you know, like Francophone, whether it's diversity of language, diversity of culture, religions. So I think it only makes sense to also have a place that brings us together from a plant perspective.
That was one of the many community members who shared their stories and helped shape the vision for these gardens. Like some of them, I've been coming here since I was a kid. My parents raised us in a small rural town in Manitoba, but my dad is originally from the Barbados. It was on very special weekends when he'd pile us into the car and we'd drive here and watch cricket games, just like he did when he was a kid on the island. As I've raised my own family, I now have my special love of this park. And now we have the new outdoor gardens at the Leaf, with thousands of diverse plants to cherish together.
My name is Rhonda Halliday, and I am the lead indoor gardener for Assiniboine Park Conservancy. And we are currently in the new support greenhouses. And the whole idea behind what we do here is we are growing material to go out into all of the gardens through the park. We grow a wide variety of plants. And it's very important for us to have a lot of diverse plants for a bunch of different reasons. For vegetables, the more diverse we have out there, then the more plants people can see they could maybe grow in their own gardens that they never thought of before. As far as the plants that actually flower, of course we want to have a wide variety of those. From an aesthetic standpoint, everybody's going to see something different in a plant. And then there's also the whole health of the soil. Different plants draw different nutrients from the soil, so the more we're changing those up on a regular basis, then the less we're actually depleting the soil. And most people would call that biodiversity. Because we're open to the air, we've actually had a swallowtail butterfly visit us, and she left eggs, and now her babies are all over the host plants that we have here, which is the dill here and fennel behind us. And they look actually like they're pretty close to go into chrysalis and actually become butterflies.
The bees are loving it for pollination.
I'm Gerald Dilliman. I'm the Senior Director of Horticulture at the Assiniboine Park Conservancy. And right now we're in the seasonal garden of the Gardens at the Leaf. And what it's going to do over the course of the season, over the course of the summer, is this rolling change of color with all these new perennials that are in the garden. Every time you come to the garden, whether it's next week or next year, it's the same place, but it might feel different, it might look different. And that sense of change over time is something that's very special. You'll notice there's lots of places to sit. The goal here is to get people to come in and then take the garden in. Sometimes it's just being with your friend and talking, or watching pollinators and the bees and the butterflies. It's a growing, living being on its own. And so what I'm looking forward to is having people here and finding their own ways of enjoying this space and ways that I never thought were possible.
Well, what I hope will happen here is that because we're a multicultural society, we're going to get to know each other much better. And if that happens, if that only alone happens, it would have made the place. It's very important. But I think also it'll bring us together to understand other parts of the world and why biodiversity is so important.
My husband and I have been bringing our kids here to the park on Sundays since they were very tiny. We'd pack up the sports gear and a picnic, and then we'd spread out under a nice big tree, like here in the Grove. Since the park opened in 1908, the intent has always been to create a space where people can connect with nature in unique ways. And the Sensory Garden is just one way of doing that.
I just love these. My name is Bonnie Tulloch, and I'm one of the education coordinators here at Assiniboine Park Conservancy.
Well, it has so much energy, these bright colors.
My name is Melissa Scouten. I've been working with Bonnie creating programs for the public here at the park for about 10 plus years.
It's been fun doing like this with groups too, this land art. It's a fantastic job. It doesn't seem like a job at all in lots of ways.
It gets your creative side.
Just being able to meet the community and that lovely human experience of sharing.
That is the smell of summer, isn't it?
Don't you just want to get your hands in here?
The new Sensory Garden is incredible because it's just this combination of all the elements that appeal to us.
It's like a cloud.
The textures, the colors.
We want people to touch the plants here and engage with them. So exciting. Sensory gardens, they're wonderfully set up no matter what sort of ability you have. So when people just notice the smells, the touch, might remind them of something. This reminds me of the prairies. They bring out emotions, slow down the heart rate. It just helps with your well-being. It is a good big green hug. So Bonnie, what is something you see right now that you just want to get your hands on?
Well, I have a hard time because there's a lot here that I want to get my hands on.
Bonnie's so brilliant at knowing all the names, and I just like getting in there, different perspectives, and well, it just has such a good energy. I love listening to you talk about plants. It makes me happy. What do you love about lavender?
I love the fact that it is a calming plant.
The amazing thing about plants is no matter what state or mood you're in, they're there to help you. They're like our teachers.
So many traditions have that circular, the Buddhist traditions, the medicine wheel, and plants have strong memories for us. And so people hopefully will come here and see a little part of maybe their culture or their background. So if we can showcase and highlight those different unique plants, then the people feel at home here. Builds community, I think. That looks beautiful. Thanks for helping me.
Oh, thanks for having me help you.
It was very nice.
For me, this place is an opportunity to learn about other plants that maybe I never knew of before. Even just going around this afternoon, I saw some native grasses that I really loved, and to learn what they mean to other people, because plants mean different things to the people who grow them.
As much as we physically think we're different, we're not. We have a lot of similarities. And as we walk through the gardens, people will share stories about how this is used or how they saw this or what feeling they might exhibit from it, what joys they've brought. And I think that will be the stories, and it'll be a coming together place on a different medium than we're used to.
I see plants as something that supports growth. When we see plant, it means the place is not a desert, it's not barren, there's life, it's kind of like life.
I think it really also goes back to welcoming. We always welcome people with some type of breaking bread in every culture, and that really starts from the ground.
There are so many places here to celebrate. This is the Performance Garden. Talented artists from every culture will take the stage here against this stunning backdrop. Performers like this amazing trio. Russian-born contortionist Anastasia Yevsigneva with Nathaniel Felicitas on cello and Quentin Barr on the hurdy-gurdy. Here they perform the Flower Duet from the opera Lakme. Now that was a feast for the senses. Performances like that truly bring diverse talents together. Something else that brings us together? Food. In the Kitchen Garden, we explore the connection between nature and culture through food and cuisine. And what better way to do that than by cooking up some culinary delights from around the world?
I am Executive Chef Heiko Durson of the Assiniboine Park Conservancy.
My name's Satya Mehra. Me and my family run the East India Company restaurant, Manitoba's highest rated, longest standing family restaurant. Chef, let's get cooking. Today I thought we would do a very traditional Punjabi North Indian staple dish called gobi aloo, or literally translated spiced cauliflower and potato. Our passion for fresh food is family deep. Indian cooking has its roots in vegetarian bases, and now we're gonna add our tomato base with ginger and with garlic and with tomato. German culture uses a ton of potatoes.
For me, I love rosti, which is the potato pancake,
Yeah,
right?
they're
So
delicious.
I grew up in a German household, but my mom also loved experimenting and cooking. And
you'll notice with the black cardamom, the pod will actually open and release the seeds, and that's when you know you've achieved full flavors.
European food has really been inspired through the spice trade. And that's the nice thing about food, it's constantly evolving.
And to get new ingredients, things like buttersquash, ladyfingers, okra, and to be able to spice them in different ways, you awaken new tastes and flavors that you haven't had before. This is East India Company's garam masala. The recipe for this batch has been passed down from my grandmother to my mother, which she guards.
Well, diversity in food is so important right now. Turmeric and ginger is a hipster thing this year with the kombucha. I mean, we are a real melting pot of people here. It smells amazing.
Does it? Thank you.
And I think that's what's going to be great about this garden is that, I mean, you're really bringing people in the community together with something that we all have in common is food. That we can
that's great actually.
Put on the side
and so it doesn't matter which culture you're coming from. Fantastic. Food is a central thing where people sit down across from each other and they talk about the day and they share that over bread, over a soup, over a curry. It's phenomenal.
That looks delicious.
Thank you very much.
I love meeting people of different cultures and learning from them, like what they like to plant and especially what the culinary interest. I'm really into culinary things. The Chinese are really big on food, right? Especially I come from Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a heaven for culinary diversity, really.
There's so much to treasure in these gardens. The entire space showcases the diversity in all the elements of nature as they work together to create something astonishing. Every flower, every tree, every shrub depends on birds, bees, and butterflies of every size.
There was a time at my lowest point in my personal life. I can't help but cry. One morning I woke up and I said, I have to change. And so I went to the store, bought a lot of flowers and everything. I filled the house with them. I suddenly felt I'm not alone. I felt, wow, suddenly my house is full of energy, which I've lost. And that's how I started feeling I'm so connected with them.
This is the seasonal garden. The plants and spaces will evolve as the 4 seasons change, and like the 4 directions of Indigenous teachings, reflect the circle of life. The traditional teachings are very special to programmer Anna Heward as she meets up with Elder Barb Nepanak in the Indigenous Peoples Garden.
It's really nice to have you here, and it's really nice to finally meet you. Welcome.
Miigwech for inviting us to be here today.
Buju Oshashka Kuku Ku Ikwe Nidishkas Kekek Nidotim. I'm Anna Heward. I'm the Manager of Education and Program here at Assiniboine Park. Born and raised here, originally from Couchiching First Nation on Treaty 3 land.
And one of the first things that we were taught as children was to respect, elements of the environment and most importantly, fire, because fire is what sustains us, just like water. And just as we were walking here, I could see medicine plants.
Being on the land, it centers us as Indigenous people. We lose ourselves when we're in the city. Being urban Indigenous, the willow here,
oh,
I know when I go to ceremony in the bush, I center myself and I can really feel that connection to my ancestors. And so then every sort of sphere goes through the seasons. So having a place in Assiniboine Park, in an urban park, I feel like it's just accessible and I can really feel that connection.
So I wanted to share with you the teaching of the water ceremony. It's conducted by women because we're life givers, we bring life into this world. My mother always used to say, one day when you're a mother and a grandmother, you're going to teach this story to your children. My sisters and I are sitting there laughing and say, oh, we're going to be grandmas, we're just laughing. And well, yeah, I'm a grandma now. And I remember visiting our friends out west, and his sister said, well, he says, I heard of that ceremony, but we don't do it. And she says, she says, my grandmother did that, but my mother didn't do it because she went to residential school. So when she came out, she said she didn't carry those teachings with her. I said, well, you should do it because that's how you preserve our oral traditions.
It means a lot to sit with Barb. I think it's just really important to hear those teachings from our elders, that we get that transfer of knowledge, especially directly from them.
And so I taught her how to do that. And now her granddaughters are listening to her, and she tells them, one day when you're a mother and a grandmother, you're going to carry this teaching with you and share it with all people.
The land and the Indigenous people's gardens, it means so much to me to have a space where we can share our teachings and ceremonies and connect. Chimigwich Barb, your teachings mean so much to me, and I'm really excited that we can continue our relationship like this.
We will work together, I feel it.
Yeah.
I'm Margaret Redmond, and I'm President and CEO at Assiniboine Park Conservancy. When I walk through these gardens today, I see 12 years of dreaming, and to see it coming to life is amazing. It's humbling to think that we'll be inviting our community in to enjoy something that we dreamed of for so long. So now you've experienced the beautiful outdoor gardens at the Leaf, and soon you'll be able to experience the amazing building of the Leaf. So I'm going to take you on a tour through there. You'll enter the front doors and you'll be amazed by the height of this beautiful space. It will be like there isn't a ceiling because this building will be translucent. You'll enter a beautiful tropical oasis, a place that really transports you to another part of the world. You'll hear the waterfall that falls from 70 feet above you into the pools that will meander through this beautiful tropical space. The next climate will be the Mediterranean zone, so that hot, dry zone that's found all over the world. From there, you'll enter the display hall where you really see the artistic side of horticulture. 4 or 5 times a year, there'll be a magnificent display that will have been carefully crafted to convey an artistic message. From there, you'll get on an elevator and take a 5-story ride and embark on the canopy walk that will take you above the canopy of the tropical biome and really give you that sense of looking over a tropical rainforest. You'll then enter the butterfly garden that will have beautiful exotic butterflies flying all around you. Maybe you'll be here for an education class in our indoor or our outdoor classroom, or you might be there with your child. You might be there for a beautiful wedding in a gorgeous venue that looks out over the park and looks into the biomes. There'll be a million reasons you'll come back again and again because we've designed it to bring us together as a community using plants as the medium through which we tell each other stories. The team at Assiniboine Park Conservancy have so many people to thank for making this vision into a reality. From the people who brought their ideas, their creativity, their passion, their love of the park, to our donors who have brought their generosity, not just of financial resources, but their generosity of spirit, because they believed in this idea from day one. Their love of community, their love of this park all shows in this amazing space. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you.
When I will walk through here, I think we will see people from all around the world and from every part of Canada. When I will come here, diversity grows.
When I'm in a garden, well-being grows.
My sense of contentment grows.
For me, it's life, so life grows.
For me, it's gardens grow.
In the spring, when I go out to the garden and I see my perennials poking their heads out, I feel joy grow.
When I'm cooking with fresh ingredients, passion grows.
Inspiration grows.
When I'm gardening, peacefulness grows for me.
When I'm in nature in a natural surrounding, I feel my spirit and my energy grows.
Whenever I'm with my plants, my love grows.
When I'm cooking in the kitchen and thinking about my ancestors, those connections grow.
When I'm in the Indigenous people's garden, my spirit grows.
When visitors come to these gardens, I hope community grows.
There's so much to explore here at the outdoor gardens at the Leaf. I'm going to bring my family back, and I hope you'll invite your family and friends from around the corner and around the world. Come, share your stories. I think you'll be surprised to see how much we all have in common through the plants that give us life. And I'm excited to see what will grow here for you.
Something in the air, always something